So Gandhara School of Art, it is also called as Greco-Indian School of Art. Gandhara School of Sculpture, okay, sculpture architecture is also known as Greco-Indian School of Architecture. Okay, so Gandhara School of Architecture only first represent the Buddha in human form. Okay, earlier Buddhas were in that symbol form, right? No separate statue for Buddha and no proper sculptures for Buddha. But Gandhara School of Art or the Greco-Indian School of Art is the first sculpture school of art which represent the Buddha in human form, or which prepared or which made the first sculpture of Buddha in human form. Okay, understood all of you? Hello,
Yes, sir.
students, can
Yes,
you
sir.
able to understand? Very, very
Ah, sir.
important. Gandhara
Yes,
School of
sir.
Art, Mathura School of Art, and Amravati School of Art. You need to know the differences of the School of Arts also. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss the features. So, Gandhara School of Art. Okay, it is having the Greek influence. It was having the Greek influence. Why? Because the school was patronized by the Shakas and Kushans rulers. Shakas and Kushans are the Greek rulers, right? They invaded the India and they mingled themselves with the Indian culture. Mingle themselves with Indian culture. So that is the reason why Gandhara School of Art is having an influence of Greek or Roman sculptures. Greek or Roman sculptures. Understood? And this Gandhara school was developed in the Pakistan, present day Pakistan. It was developed in Punjab. Okay. And the major center of Gandhara School of Art was Jalalabad. Very important places. Jalalabad, Hadda, Begram, and Taxila. Main center of the School of Art, okay, was Jalalabad. Jalalabad, it is in Afghanistan. Taxila, it is in Pakistan. Begram, it is in Afghanistan. And Hadda. Hadda, it is in Gandhara. Gandhara also it is in Pakistan only. Understood? So these are the major center for the Gandhara School of Art. Then what are the features of Gandhara School of Art? Okay. In Gandhara
Sir,
School of
please show me,
Arts,
sir. US slide, sir.
uh,
Wait, sir.
completed.
Wait, sir.
Acha, okay. So till now, what we studied about the Gandhara School of Art, Gandhara School of Art is made the first sculptures of Buddha in human form. This school of art is having a Greek and Roman influence because of the Shaka and Kushans ruler. This Gandhara School of Art was patronized by the Shaka and Kushans ruler. This Gandhara School of Art was developed in the Punjab, Pakistan, Punjab. Main center of this Gandhara School of Arts were Jalalabad, Taxila, Hadda, Begram.
Sir,
Okay.
what, sir?
Then speciality about the Gandhara School of Art, and this school of art made only Buddha sculpture. Buddha sculpture. That means this school of art belongs to only one religion. The sculptures of the school is belongs to only one religion, that is Buddhism. Okay. Only Buddha sculptures were made in this school of art. Okay. And Buddhas were represented or depicted. How Buddhas were depicted in the Gandhara school of art, or how Gandhara school, okay, prepared Buddha sculpture, in what form, in what way. Okay, so generally the statue of the Buddha or the sculptures of the Buddha in Gandhara art were prepared in the different hand gestures, that is called mudra. Different hand gestures, that is called mudra. Okay, so I'll show you. Right, can you see here Buddha? Can you see here Buddha? He's showing the hands like this, right? Okay, anyway, forget about that one. Okay, I think picture is not there. So in Gandhara School of Art, Buddhas were depicted. Okay, especially in four types of mudra. First it is called Abhay Mudra. You know Abhay Mudra? Have you seen the any god or deity statue in the temples? Right? How they show the right hand? They show the right hand like this, right? Can you see this picture?
Yes, sir.
Can you see, right? But this, they this one thumb finger, it will not be bent. All will be straight, like this, right? Like this, right? In temples, might be seen in temples also. The hand of the deity, it is in a Abhay Mudra. So this mudra, it is called Abhay Mudra. Buddhist mudra, and its indication very very important, or meaning. So generally in Gandhara school of art, Buddhas were depicted in different types of mudras. Okay, in those different, one of the mudra is Abhaya Mudra. Abhaya Mudra. Okay, so Abhaya Mudra indicate the fearlessness. Fearlessness. Okay, then Dhyana Mudra. Dhyana Mudra indicated meditation. Dhyan Mudra indicated the meditation. Dharma Chakra Mudra. Dharma Chakra Mudra indication the wheel of law. Wheel of law. Then Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. Under Bhumi Sparsha Mudra, okay, what a Buddha is doing? Buddha is touching the ground, touching his right hand to the ground, and calling, you know, Dharti or earth to witness his enlightenment. Can you found here? Here we can say, not here. Bhumi Sparsha Mudra is not there. Okay, no problem. Simply, might be while doing meditation or yoga, we will be, sitting in a yoga position, right? And if we touch the right hand to the floor, that position, it is called Bhumi Sparsh Mudra of Buddha. Okay, so that Bhumi Sparsh Mudra of Buddha, that indicate that when Buddha got enlightenment, at that time Buddha touches the uh, what do you call earth, and call the earth to witness his enlightenment. Understood? That is the indication or meaning of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. Abhay Mudra means fearlessness. Okay. Devotee should not fear of the God. Dhyan Mudra means indicate the meditation. Dharma Chakra Mudra means indicating the wheel of law. And Bhumi Sparsh Mudra means calling the earth to witness the what do you call enlightenment. Okay, so mainly these four types of mudras. Okay, these four types of mudras were found in the Buddhist sculptures which were made in Gandhara School of Art. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then Mathura School of Art. Okay, the sculptures of the Mathura School of Art were belongs to three major religions: Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. Okay, sculptures of the Mathura School of Art. Okay, sculptures of the Mathura School of Arts where belongs to the three religion: Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. And Mathura School of Art, it was developed, okay, in and around the Mathura region. Mathura now present day it is in Uttar Pradesh, right? So this Mathura School of Art, it was developed in Mathura region. Okay, and this school was patronized by Kushan ruler. This school was patronized by whom? Kushan's ruler. Okay. What were the major center of the school? Mathura, Sonk, and Kankatilia. Litila. Very important. They already asked question in means prelims exam regarding Mathura. Okay. So please remember the sculptures of the Mathura school where belongs to three major religion of that period: Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. Okay, and the school of arts were developed in and around the Mathura region. Major center of the Mathura school of art was Mathura, Sonk, and Kankavitila. And this Mathura school of art were patronized by which ruler? Kushan's ruler. Who were the Kushans? Indo-Greek rulers. Okay. Then what were the feature of the sculptures? So sculptures, okay, sculptures of the Mathura school were in a symbolic image form. Symbolic image form. Take an example. For Shiva, the sculptures were in the form of linga or mukha linga. We know, right? Ling means Shiva. So here in Mathura school of art, okay, the the deities were represented in the symbolic form. Understood? Example Shiva. Shiva were represented in the linga form, linga or mukha linga form. Got it, everyone? And how Buddha was depicted? Okay, here it is not there. Hello, don't worry. Uh, can you able to see the Buddha image now, students? Hello, students. Student, please respond. Hello,
Hello.
hello, student. I am audible now.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Can you able to see the screen? Hello,
Yes, sir, you
students.
are audible and screen is visible.
Okay, okay. So, what about the feature of the Mathura School of Art? Okay, so images, symbolic images were represented in the sculptures. Like the Lord Shiva was represented in the linga or mukhalinga form, and how Buddha was represented. Halo, halo around the Buddha was present. Halo around the Buddha. Halo might be have seen like this. If it is a Buddha like this, have you seen or not in any of the pictures like this? So this is a hollow. Okay, just beside the head of the Buddha. Okay, hollow. Hollow were present. Here in this it is not there, I think. No, here it is not there. Okay, so Buddha were depicted with hollow around the head, and the hollow were decorated with a geographical pattern. Hollow were decorated with a geographical pattern. Okay, and Buddha were surrounded by the two bodhisattvas. Buddha were surrounded by the two bodhisattvas, that is Padmini and Vajrapani. Sorry, Padmapani and Vajrapani. Padmapani statue is there holding a lotus, and Vajrapani statue holding a thunderbolt. I explain here. I can see. Can you see this thing, right? This is Buddha, and this is the hollow, and this is circular hollow, and this will be the circular hollow like this. Okay, and the circular hollow geographical pattern are there. And here right hand side and left hand side bodhisattvas were present. Right hand left hand side bodhisattvas were present. Who were those bodhisattvas? Okay, Padmapani. Padmapani, okay, is holding lotus on his hand, and Vajrapani, who is holding thunderbolt on his hand. Okay, so in that way Buddhas were depicted in the Mathura school of art. Understood, all of you
Yes,
students?
sir.
Okay, you need to remember what were the features of the Buddha in Gandhara School of Art, Mathura School of Art, and Amravati School of Art. Okay, then
Sir,
Amravati.
wait, sir. Sir, wait.
Okay, write down, Bapu. Written, Bapu?
Sir, wait, sir.
Okay. These are the important point. Belongs to which religion, where developed, patronized by whom, major centers, and this symbolic image form. Shiva is a linga, and how Buddha was depicted. Halo was there around the head, and halo was decorated with geographical pattern. And Buddha is surrounded by the two bodhisattvas. Padmani, which is holding a lotus on his hand, Vajrapani, which is holding thunderbolt on his hand.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so very very important. Then third school of art, that is Amravati. Third school of art. Okay, Amravati. So the distinct feature of the Amravati School of Art is that multiple sculptures. In the Gandhara School of Art, Mathura School of Art, they were focused on the single sculptures or single images. Okay, but Amravati School of Art, they focus on the multiple sculptures. Multiple sculptures, and those sculptures are in a narrative art, like Jataka tales. Jataka stories. Jataka stories related to the previous birth of Buddha. Jataka stories are the stories which are related to the previous birth of Buddha, right? So these Jataka stories we can find even the in stupas wall also. Remember, students, right? So these Jataka
Yes, sir.
stories were depicted in the Amravati school. See, this is Amravati school of art example sculptures. Can you see? This is Gandhara, single one. This is Mathura, it is a single. But Amravati, it is a multiple sculptures. It is like a narration of a story. Which story? Jataka story. And what is Jataka story? Jataka stories are the stories belongs to the previous birth of Buddha. Okay, so understood. So the distinct features of the Amravati School of Art is it is focused on the multiple image or multiple structures, sculptures rather than the single image as there in case of Gandhara School of Art as well as the Mathura School of Art. Okay, and this Amravati School of Art were developed on the river bank of Krishna in Andhra Pradesh. In Andhra Pradesh, okay, especially that what do you call sorry, this one, Rayalaseema region of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, on Krishna River, this school of art was developed. Okay, and the major center of this school of art were Amravati and Nagarjuna Konda. Amravati is near to the Vijayawada. Amravati is the one of the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is having three capitals, right? Legislature, executive, judiciary.
Yes, sir.
So Amravati is the
Three capitals.
legislature capital of Andhra Pradesh. Amravati was also the major center of Amravati School of Art. Apart from that, Nagarjuna Konda. Okay, so these are the major center of Amravati School of Art. And who patronized this School of Art? Satavahanas. Satavahanas are the, rulers of the Andhra. Rulers were the Andhra. In Puranas, okay, Satavahanas were mentioned in the Andhras Rajas. Andhras Rajas. Okay, so those Satavahanas patronized the Amravati School of Art. Okay, and the sculptures of this Amravati School of Arts in Tribhanga postures. Tribhanga posture means body with three bend. Body with three bend. We can see here. This is straight. This is also straight. But here you can see the sculpture, right? Bend. It is bent sculptures. Can you see, students? Right, this sculpture is bent, this sculpture is also bending, this sculpture is also bent, and this is also bending, right? So the sculptures of the Amravati School of Art is in Tribhanga posture. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so understood, all of you, what were the features of the Gandhara School of Art, Mathura School of Art, and Amravati School of Art? Okay, now we will discuss what are the difference between these three schools of art. Okay, this part is very very important, very very important for the mains point of view. Okay, this is very very important. What happened to students suddenly? They locked out. Anyway, so we will discuss the difference between Gandhara School of Art, Mathura School of Art, as well as the Amravati School of Art. Gandhara School of Art, it is having a Greek influence. As I discussed, right, it was patronaged by the Kushans and Shakas ruler. Kushans and Shakas were the Greek rulers. They invaded India and they start ruling the India, and they mingled with Indian culture. So because of that, we can see the Greek influence in the Gandhara School of Architecture. Mathura School of Architecture, it is a indigenous in nature, independent in nature. This school of art doesn't inspire, okay, or influence from any school. And Amaravati is also indigenous. And the what are the material used in Gandhara school? Okay, so Greek sandstone. Okay, Greek sandstone. There is a one stone. Remember, I think in geography you have studied types of rocks: sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, igneous rock, right? So in that sedimentary rock, sandstone is an sandstone is a example of the sedimentary rock. Okay. So there is a one sedimentary rock called great sandstone. So great sandstone is the major material which is used for making the sculptures in Gandhara School of Art. Apart from that, certain sculptures which were made up of stuccos were also found. Stuccos, plaster of Paris.
Yes, sir.
Students, plaster of Paris. Okay, so certain sculptures which were made up of plaster of Paris were also found in Gandhara School of Art. And Mathura school, okay, they use the spotted red sandstone. They use spotted red sandstone material. And Amravati, they use white marble. Amravati School of Art, they use the white marble. And Gandhara School of Art, it is mainly belongs to the Buddhist religion. And Buddha's images were found. But in Mathura, images which were belongs to all three major religions of that time, that is Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism were found. And Amravati, Buddhism only. And who patronized the Gandhara School of Art? Kushans and Shakas. What about the Mathura School of Art? Kushans patronized. And Amravati, Satavahanas patronized the Amravati School of Art. Okay.
Sir,
Gandhara School of
both,
Art.
both, sir.
Acha, okay. No, this point we already discussed, Bapugada Desai.
Sir. We writing, sir.
Again, why you are writing?
Sir, sir, three in one page, sir.
No, again, why you are writing? Write those points which
Sir,
were not present in the previous slides.
no, sir. It is helpful. It is easily, sir. If we remember, sir, in
Acha,
three in
okay,
one page, sir.
okay, you can. Okay, shall I start now?
Sir.
Okay. So, where Gandhara School of Art developed, it is in the Gandhara region or northwest India. Mathura was developed mainly in the Mathura region of North India. Then Amravati School of Art were developed in Deccan region on the river banks of Krishna. Okay, so this is common. We already discussed this point, right? Now this part is very important, very important. This point, how Buddha was depicted in this three school of art. Okay, so in Gandhara school of art, Buddha were depicted in the spiritual way, meditation way, spiritual way, very stylish with wavy hairstyle. Buddha was sitting in the stylish posture, and hair was very heavy. Sorry, wavy. You can see here. Can you see this wavy hairs, right?
Yes, sir.
That one. Okay. So Buddhas were depicted with wavy hairs, beard and mustache were also present. Lean body, lean body. Okay, lean body like Bharat. Okay, so Buddhas were depicted in the spiritual way, very stylish and wavy hair. Buddha was having a beard and mustache. Body of the Buddha was very lean. Okay, both standing Buddha as well as the seated Buddha sculptures were found. Okay, standing Buddha as well as the what do you call seated Buddha sculptures were found. See here we can see, and the eyes are half closed. Can you see here? These eyes are half closed, right? Eyes are half closed and ears are very big. Can you see this here? Student, can you
Yes,
see?
sir.
Right, this is Gandhara School of Art Buddha. Right. So here, hairs are very wavy. Okay. Eyes are half closed and ears are very big. Ears are very big. Okay. Body was lean like this, not a fat body. Okay. Understood all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was the depiction of Buddha in Gandhara School of Art. Then what about the depiction of Buddha in Mathura School of Art? Okay. Delighted Buddha, not the spiritual look, normal look. Delighted, happy, that look. Okay. No beard, no mustache, clean shave Buddha. You can see here. Clean shave Buddha. Okay. No beard, no mustache, clean shave Buddha. Body was strong, muscular body. Body, biceps, triceps, where you know, along with the six packs app, were found in Buddha sculptures. Okay. And most of the sculptures of the Mathura School of Art, Buddha sculpture was seated Buddha rather than standing. Seated one. Eyes are open with small ears. You can see here. Eyes are open, ears are small. Not big like Gandhara. Right, student? Understood all of you? So this is very
Yes, sir.
important point. You should differentiate the depiction of Buddha in Gandhara School of Art and Mathura School of Art. Okay, it is very, very important. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was Buddha in the Gandhara School of Art? Buddha were in the spiritual way. Okay. Yeah, very, stylish hairstyle and wavy hair. He was having beard, mustache, body was very lean. Okay, eyes are half closed and ears are very big. And sculptures are both seated sculptures as well as the standing sculptures were found.
Standing culture.
Gandhara. In Mathura, not spiritual Buddha, delighted one, normal, happy mood. Okay. Beard, mustache was not there. Clean shave Buddha. Strong muscular body were there. Okay. And eyes are open and ears are very small. Not normal ears. And most of the sculptures were seated. Understood? Students. Very,
Yes,
very
sir.
important. So many times they ask in mains exam. Okay. Illustrate the difference between the depiction of Buddha in Gandhara School of Art and Mathura School of Art for 100 words. Can't you write 100 words? The
Yes,
difference
sir.
between the Gandhara and Mathura School of Art, right? So many times they ask question. So this is very, very important. Okay. And in Amravati School of Art, single image of Buddha was not found. Okay. So the sculptures were mainly in the stories of Jatakas rather than single. Here you can see, right? The sculptures, multiple sculptures was there, which are depicted in the Jataka stories. Okay. And the distinct features of the sculptures are the sculptures are with the Tribhanga postures. Understood?